Rúben Amorim, the Sporting Lisbon manager, has, effectively not quite signed a pre-contract, but has shown a very serious interest, and moves are afoot to make him the permanent Liverpool manager to succeed Jurgen Klopp.
That'd be a good aftershave, wouldn't it? What do you wear?
Amorim, poor on. It does sound a bit like that, doesn't it? Yeah. Florian Plettenberg, this came out of Germany, this story, earlier on today. So we thought we would head to the source, which is Portugal, of course. And Tom Kundert, Portuguese football expert, joins us. Hi, Tom.
Hello there.
Hello,
How are
Tom.
you?
Tom, is this being reported in Portugal today?
Oh, of course, yeah. It's all over the press. There's a journalist called Pedro Sepulveda, who's a little bit like Fabrizio Romano light, you can say, or the Portuguese.
Oh, yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah. Or the Portuguese Fabrizio Romano, he's pretty much all over the big transfers and the big coach moves, and he normally gets his information right. And he says that, talks are ongoing and everything's, going smoothly. And it looks very much like Rúben Amorim will be the next Liverpool manager.
I think we kind of guessed this. When Amorim did the press conference a few days ago and said, "I can't tell you that I'm doing a Xabi Alonso. I can't tell you that I'll definitely be here next season." I think the writing was on the wall, and it was either going to be potentially Bayern Munich, but the feeling was it was going to be Barca or Liverpool. And it looks like Liverpool got their man. Yeah.
It's been asked about it every single pre-match press conference, every single post-match press conference for about the last 2 weeks, and so he's getting a bit, he was getting a bit annoyed, but he really did. First of all, he was just saying, all the focus is on Sporting. All my focus is just, making sure that, or trying to help Sporting win the championship. They had a sensational win, of course, on Saturday night here in Lisbon, in a Lisbon derby, beating Benfica, which puts them in prime position to win the league, 4 points ahead with a game in hand. And so at the end of that press conference, I'd say that he was more, without directly saying that he'd be leaving Sporting at the end of the season, you kind of saw from his body language and reading between the lines that it seemed a kind of inevitability.
Yeah.
Tom, is there two different release clauses, amounts, which has been reported? And Rúben Amorim, what sort of characters? He's more of he's not like the ebullient, gregarious, large and life characters like Jurgen Klopp. Is he a bit more laid back?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Very laid back. He's got quite different to, I'd say, some of the other Portuguese managers who are quite, what's the best word to use?
Feisty?
Feisty. That's a good one. Antagonistic, I suppose. Someone like a Mourinho, who's, always trying to, wind up the opposition or wind up other coaches or moan about referees or whatever. Rúben Amorim is incredibly kind of polite, cheerful demeanour. Whenever he's asked questions, even stupid questions, he's really polite to the journalists, always answers them. Always has a good answer up his sleeve. Is a brilliant communicator. I think that's one of his secrets of his success. He just gets his message across so clearly all the time. I'm not sure what his English is like, but I imagine it's pretty good. And so, I wouldn't say he's a larger than life character. He normally just, lets his team do the talking for him, but certainly a much more kind of polished, I would say, personality, or much more kind of jovial and easygoing personality than someone like Mourinho, for example.
And so, I mean, not that fans particularly care, but what is it going to cost to get him out of his contract? What will Sporting land in compensation?
Yeah, well, there's two release clauses, which is, like you said, correct, 30 million if he left Sporting to go to a rival club here in Portugal. In other words, if he left to go to Porto or to Benfica.
Yeah.
But if he did, when his contract was renewed a couple of years ago, apparently they put in a clause where if a huge club came in for him, someone like Liverpool, that Sporting would let him leave for a lower amount, £20 million. But even there's been a bit of a talk in here over the last few days that he's got such a good relationship with Sporting. He's really created a fantastic working relationship with the president that they think that perhaps they will let him go for even a little bit less than that. But yeah, we're probably talking about 15 million, between 15 and 20 million.
And I mean, look, if he goes by winning the title, I can expect the answer. But will he go with a sort of blessing of the sporting fans? Do they feel that this is a great opportunity for him? What sort of reaction can he expect in these final games of the season if with these rumours out there?
Oh yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it. People here in Portugal are quite realistic about Portugal's kind of place in the football food chain, you can say. And it's inevitable whenever a player starts doing really well or whenever a manager starts doing really well that sooner or later he'll be moving on to a bigger league, a more prestigious league. And so, yeah, people will be, certainly sporting fans, you really cannot overstate what he's done here at Sporting. Absolutely incredible job. They'd won the league twice in 38 years before he arrived. This looks like they're about to win it twice in 4 years now, and even in the one of the intervening years when he didn't win it, they were very close to winning it again. So he's done an absolutely incredible job, and all sporting fans will certainly wish him well.
Tommy's win rate, I looked at Braga, and obviously Sporting is over 70%, which is incredibly consistent. But the style of play, he likes to play, is it like a 3-4-2-1, like three centre halves, and he's not really the mayhem football like of Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, that's a good point, this, because it's very different football. His style, first of all, he's completely wedded to 3-4-3. Always plays that style all the time, all that formation, every single game since when he was at Braga, his short stint at Braga, and his over 4 seasons now at Sporting. That's always been his preferred formation. So, yeah, but, having said that, of course, most people, they look at that and they can be interpreted as a defensive formation because, of course, when the wing-backs drop back, you basically blame the 5 defenders. And when Sporting first won the league, that really was the key to their first won the league under Amorim. That was the key to their success. They had a watertight defence. But, for instance, this season, they've just been an absolute goal-scoring machine. It's been really attacking. Both wing-backs have been almost playing as, auxiliary wingers most of the time. Sporting have scored more goals since the heyday of their in their whole history, in their 40s and 50s. They've scored more goals this season in Portugal than any club. That's including Benfica and Porto. Of course, any club at this stage of the season, they're just scoring goals for fun. So, it can be a very attacking formation. And of course, if he takes over at Liverpool, you kind of wonder, what he's done at Sporting with the players he's got available. He's got good players, obviously, but nothing like the calibre of player he'll have at Liverpool. You kind of wonder what he can achieve, with those kind of players, working under him.
Excellent. Tom, thank you. I think the Liverpool fans will be quite buoyed by what you've said. Thanks very much.
Okay. Cheers.
Tom Kundert there, Portuguese football expert. His English is pretty good. We played Sporting. Tottenham played Sporting a couple of years ago and he did the press conference and his English was very good, so that's not going to be an issue. And Gabby Agbonlahor will know him because they did their badges together over in Ireland a few years ago. So we have someone who can give us chapter and verse, I'm sure, when Gabby's next on.
So did he understand Gabby's accent, and he's done well if he understands that. To be fair,
that's exactly.
And if you'd have remember when Pochettino was manager of Southampton, and he pretended that his English weren't very good. He always had the translator next to him, didn't he? So you give yourself that 30 seconds. 40 seconds.
From what I remember, he didn't need it. His English is very good. So
Poch.
Amorim.
But Poch pretended that he couldn't speak English, didn't he? He had his translator, like the Bielsa translator, just to give him that 35 seconds to get your answer sorted out. Because then I used to watch Southampton play, and he pulled all the players over. You're looking at him thinking, well, unless their Argentinian is like spot on, he must be speaking English.
Just give
himself that bit of time.
He's made himself understood then. That is very true.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.